and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you're new here, my name is Elena and I'm the homeschooling mama to 3 kiddos. Here on my channel we talk about everything from homeschooling to homemaking and all the things in between. Today I thought I'd share with you how we store some of our larger purchases or bulk food items. This, I do want to say though, is just the way my family and I have chosen to store it. We are by no means experts in this area, so I don't want you to take this as like extremely long-term storage. This is just how, when we purchase things from either Costco or Azure Standard, that when I come home, in order to keep it as fresh as we can while we are rotating through and using it, how we've chosen to store and keep it as fresh as we can. But again, this is not like not meant to be extremely long-term storage. This is just what we've chosen to do. So I just wanted to give that little disclaimer there, but I thought I would share with you how we are choosing to store some of the things and how I kind of make it all fit in the kitchen here. So let's jump in. These clips are going to be clips from different days because I didn't do it all in one day. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm gonna do some dry milk and store it. Now, normally when we get it, we order it from Azure and we order it in bulk because they have organic, non-fat A2 milk. And so this one was going down easier on my kids' tummies. Some of the milk, it just was not agreeing with them. This one was going down a lot easier, and I liked to use this milk in a pinch if we ran out. It was just good to know that we had some that was shelf stable. But also this foams really nicely in my frother. So when I was doing like tea time in the winter, the colder months, we were doing a lot of tea time and we would add honey and milk, or for my coffee, this just worked out really well. And so how I was storing it was in just a glass jar. We went ahead and decanted it into the glass jar. I put the label on it so that I would have the directions how to make it, and then we just kept it in here. You could decant and then use your vacuum seal attachment to take the air out of smaller jars, or if you had one that fit this size jar. But because some of us are just going straight dairy free, we've not been going through this very quickly, so I want to store what I have left, which is about 5 pounds of the milk, for longer term storage. So not forever, just for longer term, because we're not going through it as quickly. So I have some Mylar bags here. I went ahead and wrote for 2 quarts on here because they are Mylar bags. I just felt like 2 quarts at a time would be enough for us to go through it. And so for two quarts, I just wrote the directions. This has 2 2/3 cups of organic non-fat milk in it. To make 2 quarts of milk, add 7.5 cups water. And so I'm going to show you how I'm going to store it in here for longer term storage. But this is also acceptable if you're going through it a little bit more quickly like we were. And then you can also put it in your refrigerator and it'll slow down even faster. But my whole point of having dry milk was to have a shelf stable milk and not take up so much room in the fridge. So I already started doing this, so it is kind of messy here, but let me show you with this one. I do have these silica gel. These are disencant. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but basically it wicks away any moisture that might be in there. So I'm going to put a couple of those in there, and then I'm going to use my funnel because, like I said, I've been making a little bit of a mess here. And so I just felt like that might help not get so much powder onto the Mylar bags. So there's 2 cups, and then I want to put in 2/3, and that helped a little. Just gonna wipe down. And these are the sealable bags, but I am gonna go back in and seal them with heat also. But for now, I'm not going to seal it. I'm going to use up the rest of the milk and store it in here. And then I'm going to come back in and drop in the oxygen absorbers. That'll be the last thing I do before heat sealing. Okay, these are 300 oxygen absorbers. And so I went ahead and put the oxygen indicator in here. But as you can see, I had opened the bag before and I have it in a jar because I don't want to waste them. So I'm going to quickly put one in. It is, like I said, 300. So one should be good for 1 per bag. So I'm going to throw that in there, and then I'll show you how I'm going to heat seal it. This is what I'm going to use to seal up the Mylar bags. It's just my straightening iron. I thought about getting another one from the thrift stores just for this, but I think it'll be fine. I hardly use it for my hair anymore anyways, and it's kind of getting old. So these do have the Ziploc. I know that's not the right term, but the zip, that's a brand name, but you know what I'm saying? You can zip it closed here, like press and seal. So, but I'm going to seal the very tip here because I have read that you can reuse the bags after you open them. So you want to try to get as close to the top of the seal as you can, and that way you can just cut it off and reuse it. So just going to take it and start pressing across. Ooh, it is sealing very quickly. It's still really hot, but you can see it is sealed all the way across. The next thing I'm doing is just some wheat flour, and then later I'm going to do yeast also. We purchase our wheat flour in bulk, and for immediate use in the pantry, I just put it into this large gallon-sized jar, and then that's how I take out our flour, depending how much we need. We know anywhere from 1 cup to 3 cups, whatever we're baking. And then in that quart-sized jar next to it, that's where I'm going to put in, it usually takes 2 of those because we buy yeast from Costco, and I put the yeast when I need to use it, I open it up, and then I put it in those glass jars also, but those go into the refrigerator, and then I just take them out as needed. Azure is family owned. It says Azure is a family owned and operated business working and living on the same land in Oregon, now 3rd generation organic, non-GMO and organic. We provide the highest quality organic, natural, and non-GMO foods from around the world at affordable prices. Their mission, it is our mission to inspire healthy and abundant living in our families, our communities, and our world. Nurturing life with food as real as you are. We shop from Azure about every other month, I think, but most of our items or bulk items are coming from there. So I just thought I'd share a little bit more about the company and their standards. Here I am doing a bag of mini chocolate chips that we got from Azure Standard, and we use this for baking as well as like sometimes we'll put it into our oatmeal in the morning. So for quick everyday access, I just pour it into one of these glass jars with a gasket lid, and then this does not house, as you can see, all of the mini chocolate chips. So the other way that I store it for a little bit longer term is by pouring it into another glass jar, and then I will take out my vacuum sealer, and I have a jar attachment for it, and that way I can suck out the air from it and it'll last a little bit longer that way. So that'll be like our backup to the everyday opening jar one. I hope that makes sense. But that's just a couple of ways that we store our food. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you like this video, would you please be sure to give it a thumbs up? If you're not subscribed, maybe take a look and consider subscribing and joining our little YouTube family. We'd love to have you here. And if you haven't heard, or maybe you just need a reminder, maybe the one to tell you that you are deeply and truly loved and so, so appreciated. Thanks so much for watching.